Hey everybody, hope your world is turning in the right direction. What you're going to hear here is my Stevie Ray Vaughan interview from April 1983. I believe it was the Texas Flood record. His first album had just come out, so he was doing some press over at his label, Columbia Records, over in Century City, out here in California. He had also just worked on the David Bowie Let's Dance album. And our conversation began with that. He was most unhappy with the way that album turned out, and he thought his parts were mixed too low. Stevie was a very cool cat, very, very nice guy. Um, we had to take a photo with Stevie with a guitar, and Stevie didn't bring a guitar. So we had all of the secretaries and publicists from Columbia running all over the building looking for a guitar. We finally found this Chet Atkins electric acoustic, which Stevie posed with for some photos. Again, very nice cat. Um, I'm happy I had the chance to speak with him, and cool. I won't keep you any longer. Sit back and check out Stevie Ray Vaughan, 1983.
Yeah, Albert King record in the first place is to be able to give him a chance to put out a record that sounds like he wants to sound for a change, as opposed to a producer, molding his sound.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's going to take a little time. I only have 2 weeks to do it. So that may or may not be enough time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I've never tried to work with him in the studio before.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure he's going to want things exactly like he wants them.
Right.
And that takes some pretty easy to deal with musicians, because when Albert wants something, he gets it, or he gets mad, and I can understand it.
Are you like that?
Oh, only to a certain degree. If I know someone can do it, yes.
Yeah.
If I know that they're just being lazy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I get a little edgy.
Right. I mean, judging from your response on this Rocky IV soundtrack, I imagine that you're pretty.
Well, I don't know. I don't understand that at all. It's kind of, in a way, I don't want to take it this way, but it's kind of insulting.
Mm-hmm.
There's only enough of what I play on there to legally use my name. And you can't really even tell what I play.
And if someone didn't really know it was you, you'd really be hard put to tell who that
I can
was.
show you what I played on.
Really?
Where I played, I played on the whole thing. They had me do the whole thing several times so that they could so they'd have, different parts of the same style to use. And this is the first mix I've heard that didn't use my guitar part all the way through.
Mm.
And I'd used parts off of a song that I was writing.
Oh, really?
And I blew it off. I blew it off so that I could keep this one, in a separate place.
Right.
Now they didn't use my parts that are on there. I don't know. I'm just kind of shocked.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Mm. So what are your feelings about your new record? Is something a little stretching out a little?
I like the record a lot. The sound quality could be better on it.
Could be better?
The way it was mixed originally was a lot stronger. We EQ'd and remastered in California after we'd been through with it, as far as we knew. Someone took it out here and tried to make it their record. And it turned out to be this little skinny sounding thing with a hole in it.
Mm.
And we took it back to New York in 2 hours to put some balls back in it. We got it this far. But as far as what's on there song-wise, I like the album a lot.
The songs are...
It meant a lot to us what we went through to get this record.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of odds
Oh.
and we still stayed strong.
Yeah.
You know, we grew a lot. The people in the band and immediate friends around us learned a lot and grew a lot closer.
Mm-hmm.
A lot closer.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to do with why it's called it.
Oh. Are you pretty critical of the sound of your guitar on record? I mean, is that something that not often?
Well, it's really important because I know what it sounds like when I'm playing, especially in a studio situation where you have control of it. And I do want it to sound as big as it can. You know? And there's different ways to go about it. And I know that I had plenty of signal on this record because I played through every amp that I had and could find.
Did you really?
And all of them. I played through all of it at the same time. Mic'd
Seriously?
everything. I had lots of things to choose from. And
You've been checking out Dumbles lately, right?
well, I've had one for nearly 2 years. 2 years, I guess, in about God. I want to say it's been 2 years, but it may be the middle of next month. I'm not real sure.
Yeah.
I've got another one ordered.
Really?
Yeah.
You like them, obviously.
Mm-hmm. They're great amps.
And the Fenders.
Well, they sit when they're working right. They sound like an overgrown Fender.
Mm. Yeah.
I keep them, and I still use Fenders as well, along with them, because they just have some. There's these two vibroverbs, these old number 5 and 6, and there's one of them. Number 5 just sounds different than any other one.
Wow.
And it gets funny when it starts getting kind of worn out sounding. The only way to get it to sound fat and clear is to turn it all the way up.
Really?
And make it work harder. And it works. I don't know. In the studio, we kept going, well, where's all this fat coming from? We singled it out, and it was right there.
Yeah.
It was 2 40-watt amps.
Wow. Wow.
Standing out in the middle of 650 watts.
Wow.
And they were like fatter than any of them.
Wow. Incredible. Have you ever checked out Marshalls? Has that ever been?
Yeah. I used to have one that I just sold, and I could kick myself for it day after day. But it was a first series handward super bass. And I found another one that I'm going to check out and see how it is. Because I think it would probably fit in real well with, at least for part of the sound.
Right. Is there a reason you're on the cover with the Gibson?
I played it on some of the, one or two of the songs.
Did you?
On the record, that's what I had with me that day, too.
Yeah. Which track did you use it on?
On Empty Arms, I'm sure I used it on that. And let's see here. Actually, I guess that's the only one that I left it on. I'd used it on one of the takes to Say What. But I ended up using my Stratocaster. So I guess it's just on Empty Arms, but it's on the rhythm part, the lead part, and what sounds like an organ. It's a guitar. I played drums on it. I play everything but bass and piano.
Really? Are you a drummer?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, but haven't got a chance to play too often.
Mm-hmm.
When I practice for a couple of weeks at a time, I play the shit out.
Yeah.
Have fun doing it too.
Would there be a point in time when you might bring someone else in to produce a Stevie Ray Vaughan record?
Maybe co-produce, but we pretty much know what we're wanting to do with the records because we all produce together. There are stages of it when they all trust me to it, but I'm wide open for input at all times with it because we're all in this band, not just me.
Right.
Just because somebody wants contract signed with my name only doesn't mean that this band, doesn't mean that the band's all, beside me. They're not. This is a band,
right?
Not a guy with a bunch of sidekicks.
Right. So you can be pretty objective when you put down a solo and know that it's there and it's
yeah. When it's right, I get chill bumps and things.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 59 Strat, that's still the...
It's still the main one.
That's the main one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So that's the first wife, I think. Haven't left me yet. Why should I leave her?
You changed the pickups on that?
No.
Those are stock?
Yeah, there's one of them. I had to change one of them for a while until I got one of them worked on. Just had to get it dipped, but I had to get it to the right person.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Words,
Right.
who's now gone. He died in February.
Oh.
We miss him. Glad he. I'm sure he's up there dealing guitars somewhere
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and still being fair deals.
Keyboards are coming out a little bit more in your music, part of the arrangement.
Yeah, I've been wanting to work with a keyboard player again for quite a while, and Reese is one of the best I've ever heard. And he came in to do a piano part on Little Sister. We got to talking and got this wild look at each other's eye again. And he goes, "You still open your band?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "When do I start?" I said, "Now." Just go.
Yeah. It's just there's no synthesizer on here, though, is there? It's just Hammond and piano.
He's been bringing one to the gigs lately, but he only uses it on one song to double the part that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a great clavinet sound on it, though. But I'm trying to get him to, I'm nudging him to use it more.
Yeah.
Because he can play it right. And it's more like a guitar sound mixed with the piano, of course. But I think they're real funky.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you put down rhythm tracks live. I mean, you're out there with the bass player and drummer and putting that down. And
most of it I didn't do a bunch of. Most of it I did the guitar part all at once. But a couple of songs I did double on this time. Well, Empty Arms because there's no way I could play all that stuff at once.
Right.
Change It, I was singing it as someone else was playing rhythm on the first time.
Oh, really?
And I was playing the solos. Yeah. And I went back and put a rhythm part because it really needed one.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who wrote it was playing rhythm. And he plays it like. So I thought, you were more than that. But he's a great songwriter and great drummer, great singer.
Mm.
But I think it needed a little more than what it had.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you like playing in trios?
Yeah.
I mean, did that
I like playing trio form. I like working with keyboards. I like working with huge horn sections.
Mm.
I like all different phases of it. Chris and I used to play gigs with just he and I.
Really?
Every once in a while. And I just plug the microphone on one side of my amp, plug my guitar on the other. The great part about it is you don't have to pay attention to when you change. You can do it whatever you want to. It's fun like that.
I mean, what do you think the reason has been for, this year, actually, I guess 82 was sort of like the beginning for you, the Montreal show.
Mm-hmm.
Why now is the blues something that people seem to want to listen to? I understand it's been there, but it's really...
I really think that they're getting a chance to hear it because it's being accepted by companies a little more. I think that a lot of bands have opened up a lot of doors for us and for other people. We're trying to do the same thing, and it seems to be working pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
There's more of a trend by the marketing of this kind of music to make it more accessible, and that's a wonderful thing because this blues and rhythm and blues is pretty much the roots of damn near every kind of American music I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never bad to have where it came from start off,
Right.
Start off to be listened to again instead of being stepchild.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't stepdaddy.
Right.
Yeah.
How far from this would you stray? Would you do a pop tune? Would you do a
To be honest, I'm not sure what a pop tune is.
Yeah, I suppose I'm not either.
I'm sure if I hear it on the radio, I'd say that's just pop, or that's this or that. But really, what I pay attention to the most is just music that moves me. If that's this style, then it's there. If it's jazz, it's all at least It's a root type music instead of a formula.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about your vocals and your singing? That's something you
I'm
become
finally
more.
starting to learn how to sing. Finally. Singing instead of hollering so much. However, it's still fun to holler.
Mm. Yeah. Is that one of the reasons you tune down for your singing, or is it more for the playing?
Actually, the sound of it, I like.
Hendrix used to do that.
Mm-hmm. He tuned down, not always, but a lot of during different phases. I started off doing it because it was easier to sing, and I was having some throat problems. It was 2 or 3 years ago, and I got used to it and liked the way it sounded better. It was easier to work the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Harmonics are different.
Mm-hmm.
They act differently and act and react. People think they're just pieces of wood.
Did you ever meet Hendrix?
Not in person.
Mm.
I wish.
Mm.
I've met him in many dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But then I've also tried to play some of the stuff that I was shown in those dreams, and I was glad to figure out. It took me a while to figure out why none of it worked. I thought it was all, like I was bewildered. But I finally figured out that if it had been that easy, I wouldn't have learned anything. You know, I'm glad I hadn't done it.
Was Voodoo Child just sitting down and listening to the record? And
Well, I always wanted to try it, and then when we tried it, it sounded right. We just played it for quite a while,
Mm-hmm.
and then ended up recorded that Little Wing Third Stone, Come On, something else on Couldn't Stand the Weather. We recorded all that. Then we did a lot of it again this time, and just ended up using Come On.
yeah. Is that wah wah that belonged to him that you're using on that?
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable.
It's a great wah wah. I'll say what it's that one. And sometimes I use two.
Two wah wahs at once?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, I did it a couple of different ways during the session. Sometimes I would just sit on a stool and work both of them separately. Sometimes I'd get a piece of rack mat, like that.
Uh-huh.
There's one, what I'm talking about. This, it's the spacer, and I would sit it on top of the wah-wahs with the major part that would hang it off in the back, so that it would, when you turn it on and you take your foot off, it wouldn't go squeak, just stay on the top and kill everybody with a big shrill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what it amounted to is that if you hit it on the front end on the right hand side, you could turn that one on by itself and make it. If you're on the left hand side, you could turn it on or off by itself. In the middle was like, serious overdrive, overfly, I guess. But it was fun. You can get some wild sounds out of it.
Mm.
Because one of them drives the other one, and then it goes from there.
Yeah.
And I'm driving the first wah-wah with a tube screamer.
Oh, really?
So it's, by the time it gets to the amp, it's like...
Yeah. That sound was great.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Do you experiment much in the studio? Do you like that kind of stuff?
Yeah. I like to finish things with. Some people don't understand that, but it really just gets to the point then. And it doesn't get played so much that you end up overdoing a lot of things. It's fresh ideas.
Mm.
And they come out fresh, and then if you're already in the mode, I guess, to simplify some things so that it comes across better on record, it's the right time to be tasteful with something. Even though there's reasons to try things that may or may not work, it's still a real intimate way to finish a song. Everybody right there in the band just locked in. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Were the Bowie sessions a little bit more confining for you? I mean, did you have...
Well, the waiting was the hard part, because what I was doing was I would go in, say for 15-20 minutes while he was doing his vocals, and get an idea of how the song would play with it for a little bit, just to myself, and then get away from it, because I didn't want wear out the ideas that I'd had, and I
Mhm.
also didn't want to play in places that he was planning on himself, filling up with vocals. That he was finishing the vocals and things and the arrangements as he was going as well.
Mm.
So a lot of the things had to be, I needed to let the holes that I would play in develop,
Right.
so that I didn't have, wrong ideas about it beforehand. I ended up doing it all in like 2.5, 3 days,
Really?
and in fact, some people got mad at me. The management got mad because I was not willing to take a cut in pay because I was that early.
Oh God. Hmm. Did you do
No
any?
more said.
Did you do any of the live shows at all with him? You didn't do one. Hmm.
There was a whole different light on the subject almost.
Yeah.
Because it had nothing to do with the way he offered the tour.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to open up all the shows, and he was supposed to be wanting to have us in that situation to help us out. And as it turned out, I was supposed to quit them and not have anything to do or do interviews or anything.
Mm.
And I'm sorry, I've worked for that a long time.
Mm.
Fame or this big tour is not near that important.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. So you're off to south?
We go to Mississippi. Oh, no, not Mississippi. Excuse me, Memphis. Excuse me, tonight,
Mm.
and then take off for, I believe, Florida from there. It's either there or first or Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's back down, just straight down to Florida, where we start touring with the Thunderbirds,
Mm.
which will be a lot of fun. Hadn't got to do that with my brother in a long time. I'm looking forward to it because we both need to get on each other's case a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I say that, I don't mean it
No, I know.
any kind of a rival meaning at all. I mean, we have fun making each other get out there and work our butts off
Mm-hmm.
and grin at each other while we do it.
Mm-hmm.
It really is fun.
Yeah. And then you're off to Japan?
That's the way it looks. Like in the middle of, mid-February, the last 2 weeks of February, we're doing Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Hong Kong, Bangkok, I hear, and from there, I don't have any more to schedule yet.
Mm.
So, I guess I'll see when everybody else does. I'll probably hear it on MTV. That's happened plenty of times. Find out what we're doing by turning on TV and go, oh. I guess that's the way the mop flops.
I mean, you have to be pleased with the way things have gone.
Sure. I hope I don't sound like a old biddy.
No, not at all.
But no. I just kind of got a shock while we were.
No, I know that's
And-
that's
and-
a heavy thing. I can understand that very well.
I wasn't ready for that. I was all up to here and go, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I had to find out what happened.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah. Good.
I think we've already talked about that.
Hi there.
Hi.
A couple more questions.
So you'll come back from the touring and just begin the next record, writing?
Well, yeah, I'll actually be writing in the meantime. I'll also be working on the soundtracks, which is going to be. I've never got the chance to do it before, so I have to figure out what all it involves. There's a lot involved there, and I would like to make it really strong. I don't have any desire to do it, but it's not going to be right.
I got that impression today.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good.